It's live video, baby.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is Forehead Fables, patron exclusive. And today, before the episode, I was doing my usual pre-episode, trying to get in the right headspace. So I was just out on the porch, like eating. Yeah, I was eating lunch and staring into the sun. And then I get a text from Poob that says, "Hey, you should remove a comment that popped up on the Patreon. Someone said the N-word."
Sorry, I'm a narc. Okay.
Yeah, and I went and looked, and
that's an N-word also.
It was in reference to Bryan, obviously. Of course, the people that would comment the N-word were, of course, Bryan fans, asking, "Where is Bryan?" And
it's like a Rorschach or something.
Yeah, he's maybe. I had the idea, maybe if we cut him out of the podcast, we'll get rid of those people. So I fired Bryan. He's gone now. And then the people that would comment the N-word on the Patreon, hopefully they will leave with him. His massive fans would leave with him. No, I didn't. Bryan probably isn't going to be in any future episodes, maybe as a guest. He is kind of like fired, but not so much like I'm firing him. He's just kind of like, I don't want to do it, I guess. He's not really into it.
It's a simultaneous quiet quitting and quiet firing that's kind of been stretched out for like
a long
2 months.
time. Yeah, I've been just like
3
paying
months,
him still,
actually.
and I'm like, "Do you want to show up?" He's like, maybe. I don't know. If the stars align, I might show up. And I'm like, well, and now it's gotten to the point where it's been like months now, and I'm like, I'm not gonna keep paying you if you're not gonna show up, So dude, that guy, he works his job, and then he clocks out, and he just wants to fucking game. I've realized that about him because I respect it. I love that dude, and he's one of the funniest guys I've ever met. But he does not give a single shit about.
I truly wish he cared as much as people seem to care about him not being here.
That almost makes him more alluring of a person, that he's just so aloof.
Like it is kind of also. I feel like people respect that too. That he's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If you were a cancer-riddled orphan
and he was like,
begging
please,
for money, Bryan would spit in your face, and then you would say thank you.
If he said, if it was like a Make-A-Wish, and Make-A-Wish comes to him and says, like, you need to visit this person, that's their dream.
You need to go down the block.
He would be like,
down the block.
I just clocked out, and I have a Totino's pizza in the fucking oven. I'm not going to see
League of Legends is back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a game with my homies on the Rift, and I got a pizza I'm eating. I don't give a shit.
I'll miss his cute little button nose.
Yeah. More importantly, I'm going to miss the Lisa's caricature that she made for him.
Yeah.
And
he's the center of the podcast.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking shark or something. It's the most insane visual I've ever seen.
I should release a huge line. No profits to Bryan of like, rest in peace, Bryan. Miss you, Bryan.
This should be called the Rest in Peace Bryan podcast. Rebrand it.
Yeah, rebrand it. We miss you,
Bryan
Bryan.
Memorial Podcast. Yeah. But
it's not at night anymore.
I guess in honor of him, Stolt, if you could do a highlight reel of Bryan's best moments, just a couple minutes, that would be great. Starting now. Oh yeah. He's going to play us a hit off of his new album. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I just want to preface that. I just need to buy a pipe and be able to smoke. I had one of those moments where I invited my mom over to my fucking house for dinner. So then, but I was like, you always have to take the shower wand and like make sure the tile's not cold. So you like hose it down with the hot. And we don't want the ADL on us.
Yeah. Oh shit!
They'll come
got
down
a whole
here.
ass of league for that.
Moment of silence for his moments of silence. Yes,
and it's just him fucking like zoned out because he just doesn't care and he wants to be.
Couple pin clicks.
He's just collecting a paycheck and he wants to go play games.
He is playing games during most of them. Maybe a clip of his eyes like darting around a video game or something.
Dude, he just doesn't fucking care.
Honestly though, he's like a human ode to doing the minimum and still getting that paycheck, and I respect that.
Yeah,
I do. But also
I think he had a eureka moment, which by the way, He is the perfect job for this. I guess I can't say, but okay. If there's a field where someone can get away with doing very little and maybe automate, he works in IT. Yeah. That's a pretty broad department. It's the perfect line of work for someone like him. I get the feeling he's automated most of his job and hasn't told his bosses because he plays a lot of games during the day. But then when it's like podcast time, he goes like, I'm working. I'm like, are you? Or are you? I just don't think he cares.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, but also like, what are you going to do? Yeah, you can't make someone care about something.
Yeah.
Truly, but unless I guess we could pay him, like you could pay him like a ton more, and it's not really worth it.
I don't think he's motivated by money. I legitimately don't. Which is also, it's like, it's so foreign. Once again, we were talking earlier about staring into the eye of a chicken and going like, there's so much of a gap in like mindset between a human and a chicken. There's like when I look in Bryan's eyes, it's like, you're not motivated by money. What?
God, I'll miss those beady little eyes.
I'll miss him.
Always staring.
Yeah,
always
he's
thinking.
Just like, I don't fucking care. Same thing with Dial Laughter. He was just like, it fell apart, and he was like, whatever. Yeah. He literally just doesn't give a shit.
That is, I was reflecting on that earlier. It's sad I was on 2 podcasts with Bryan just a year ago. Now I don't know when I'll ever see him again.
But you guys, audience, take solace in the fact that Bryan's out there. He's on the rift. He's still screaming.
And he cares about you.
And he does not give a shit about you guys, okay? but he
deep down.
I'm still playing with him almost every night. There hasn't been any sort of like falling out.
Yeah.
He still hates Poob the same amount. Poob still hates him the same amount.
I don't hate you, Bryan.
I
like real life Bryan. I am excited for the prospect of seeing him on another trip.
Yeah.
Like hiking trip. TwitchCon or something.
TwitchCon with that Mia. Anything where maybe Mia's
not there and he's there. Will be
Bryan Unleashed is so much more fun than Bryan Leashed.
It's 2 sides of the coin. Yeah, it's the internet Bryan, the real life Bryan. I like the sweetheart Bryan. He can actually be a very tender and caring man in real life.
I like internet Bryan.
Yeah.
The duality of man. Internet Bryan versus real life Bryan.
We should have been, God, if we just had a real set, he probably would have been fired a lot longer ago. But it would just be, just a little sweetheart on there.
Yeah, he would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we should remember him, and then we should move on very quickly.
Oh, speaking of moving on really quickly, I found somebody that is your spirit animal. Okay.
Okay, new co-host. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, bring him on. No,
this guy's been dead for 100 years.
Okay.
So, on one of our many calls where you called me and we were talking, you expressed.
I'm always the one calling, but yeah, go on.
I'm sorry. I call you, you call me. Yeah.
No,
you are literally the one that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I get like a feeling in my head once a week where I'm like,
you should call, check in on Grandpa.
I don't do that with my family, which is weird, but
it is weird. You can call your family more.
I know.
I don't call because I hate talking on the phone, and my phone is broken, and I still haven't. They're expensive. They're like $1,000. I'm not buying a new fucking phone. They already got my money a couple of years ago. I don't want to buy a new one.
That's fair.
And the excitement of a new device. Now that it dwindles now. I don't give a shit. Yeah.
Well, also like the change is so subtle from year to year. Like you're good to wait 5, 6 years.
When I went from like a flip phone to an iPhone, that was huge. But then iPhone to newer iPhone, I was like, I don't give a shit. But anyways, you were talking about people that are extremely wealthy, and if they spend their money in incredibly boring ways.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, if you got the money, you better be spending it on weird shit. You were talking about Wubby bought that high profit with the fucking parka. Is
so
like
cool.
One of the coolest things I've seen someone spend money on.
By far, one of the best creator has just gone out and built, bought his way into
do a slideshow of that high profit looking badass. Maybe
Very
put
cool.
some lens flares on there, maybe. I feel like he would look a lot cooler with some lens flares.
We're gonna need 100 times more editing this episode than usual. Maybe you have some sad music over it or something.
Anyways, I've been diving through eccentric aristocrats of history, and I found this guy that
Oh, joy.
is your fucking spirit animal. Look.
Okay.
On.
Very cool.
Look at what this guy looks like. His name is Henry Paget.
Very cool.
And-
Cooler name than I have.
And he is the 5th Marquis of Ainsley. This guy looks...
I don't even know what any of those words mean, but 5th.
This guy looks badass. Anybody that commissions that hat, he's up there for me. He's up there on the list of cool guys.
He kind of looks like me, too.
I know, yeah.
Like
I saw him and I was like, this is like Victorian era Poob if he just had unlimited resources. This guy, he was around in like 1875 to 1905, styled Lord Paget, Earl of Uxbridge between 1880 and 1898. His nickname was Toppy, which kind of sounds like he gives blowjobs like a mad motherfucker.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I mean, he kind of looks like he gives blowjobs like a bad motherfucker.
he was
too,
notable for his short life and for squandering his inheritance on lavish social life and accumulating massive debts.
Live fast, die hard, baby. Fuck good. Yeah, this guy rocks. Okay.
And he was known for his butterfly dancing, where he would wear a voluminous robe of transparent white silk and waved his silk thing like wings. This guy, he basically had this giant estate, and he transformed it. He tore down the chapel. You know, all those old like estates always had like
Boring.
in-house.
Yeah.
He's like, get this shit out of the way. And he turned it into a theater, and he would just hold these private theatrical performances, always starring him, where he would have like these lavish costumes and everything, and he would just have badass parties. Definitely a homosexual though. His wife was like, this guy hasn't fucked me yet, and all he's doing is dressing up in silks and dancing around. But
His nickname's Toppy.
honestly, I think that guy's badass. If I was thinking like if you give Pooh billions of dollars, there's
I mean, I certainly have my own production house where I'm like, okay, Zach Braff, you're gonna remake the last season of Scrubs for me in my house right fucking now. That is, I mean, this is a man to look up towards.
yeah. I loved
While
hearing
you're
about
giving him
like,
head. Yeah.
I think it was like Dali or someone that had a pet anteater, or like that. There was like a guy
Just
that had like
no one's got that.
yeah, no one's got that
anteater.
shit, you know. There was also like a Victorian lord that had I think it was like a carriage pulled by zebras. Like how fucking cool is that?
And how hard historically zebras are to get under any amount of control and to have a full carriage. I mean, just incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, people like that rock. Then there was this other guy that I was like, this is more of like my style of eccentric aristocrat. His name was William John
dungeon
Cavendish
master.
Scott Bentinck, 5th Duke of Portland. If I had a title that long, I would make someone.
Portland, Oregon? I got it.
Yeah, he's the
live
5th
alert.
Duke of Portland, Oregon. And he was around during 1879 was when he died. And he's the Marquis of Titchfield. But this dude,
What happened to cool titles too? What happened to all
dude,
these?
Americans have no culture. We have no marquis. We have no viscounts. We have no. Yeah, there's no like court or
Best
anything.
you can be here is like manager of Chick-fil-A or something.
Yeah.
Like there's no, even like I always thought it was cool that my middle name is like a family middle name,
Mm-hmm.
but like it'd be a lot cooler if we just had a family name where I got to be like Sam Blank the third or something. No one's doing that
Yeah, no one does
anymore.
that anymore.
I don't know if anyone did that much in America, but even just Marquis, the Duke, the Duchess. I mean, there's just so
The
many
problem
like
is,
lost
if you
cool
have
titles.
a cool title like that, then you're in a society where it's not very egalitarian. So there's for every like William John Cavendish, Scott Bentinck, 5th Duke of Portland, Marquis of Titchfield, there's going to be like a guy named John that just lives in a fucking gutter.
Yeah.
And he just
But that's cool, like John, like Lord of the Rats, or so. You know, he's just got
John-
like he just lives in squalor, King of Squalor.
Pete Farmer John
Yeah,
on the Isle of Man.
I mean, but
Burn
how much
shit all
more
day.
self-confidence would a shit farmer have if he had a cool title?
That's true.
Of,
Yeah.
like, this is what I am.
Hmm.
Also, like, I think in today's culture, it's a little, you know, like really rich people. It's in to be. Like, I'm not rich, you know, like I'm just like regular folk.
Yeah.
And it'd be a lot harder to hide if you had like a 5-tier title
That's true.
of like, I'm common, I'm common folk, but my name is like, Binky the third. Like, it's just, you can't hide it as much. Ew. What the hell's on my lip?
You're having a Ted Cruz moment where you have a not kidney stone, a fucking, what are those things called? A tonsil stone comes shooting out of your mouth. No.
I don't think I.
No, this guy was not
tonsils,
hiding his wealth at all. Look at that. The winged helmet
That's
again.
badass.
That's
No,
awesome. That guy was not hiding.
He's got
shit.
a winged hussar hat.
Yeah. But William John Cavendish, this guy he was known for being a recluse, and he kind of had like a big social life through mail where he had like correspondence with like the king and like different counts and dukes and stuff. But he had an estate at Welbeck Abbey in Nottinghamshire, and he paid these construction companies to build an underground bunker that was like these big dance halls that no one ever danced in, these giant stables and like a riding arena underground that nobody ever went to, nobody ever
It's like
rode
Bruce
in.
Wayne,
Yes,
or something.
And
Wait,
if somebody,
is that his name?
No, his name was William John Cavendish.
No, sorry, I just like had a brain. Bruce Wayne's Batman, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Yeah,
It's the
but
same
he's like got this like
Yeah,
lavish
he has
appearance.
he's got
that's never...
like a Batman layer under there. But if somebody even talked to him, they would get fired. There was a story of a guy, they were instructed, don't even acknowledge he exists. And so he would just sit there and walk around the construction site and take notes. And one time one of the people like tipped their hat to him like, "Lord," and he was just like, "That guy's fired." Like he told his assistant like, "Fire that fucking guy." The guy was escorted, never to be seen again.
You think he just had like autism or something?
Absolutely.
Like, I wonder...
This guy he was like a Howard Hughes, like crazy recluse type guy.
What year are these taking place in? Also, like,
probably
when is he from?
This guy was born 1800 and died in 1879. So probably like 1850s, I would say, is when he was.
I give more slack to rich people back then. I mean, these two guys are obviously doing it right.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot less. I feel like then you could spend your like, yeah, you can throw a big dance and shit, or like carriage pulled by zebras. It's like modern day people have no excuse because there's so many things you can consume.
That's true.
But I do, like.
But yeah, you're outside the struggle
like,
of having to work. And so really, like, what do you fucking do with your time? Hell, I'll build a giant labyrinth under my house. I got the means for it, I guess.
I'll just like fire people for like looking at
that
me.
That guy
and
tipped
shit.
his hat at me and didn't say my full title. Get the fuck out of here. Get off my construction site. But what's weird about this guy is he built this labyrinth and then never used any of it. It just sat there. It's bizarre. And I
wonder if his family got any. This doesn't sound like a man that had a lot of children, but
no. Well, actually, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. I don't think he has any children.
God damn, yeah, don't even pass it down to anyone.
Oh wait, no children. There is evidence to believe that the Duke had a daughter.
Oh,
her name was Fanny. Possibly two sons,
Rump.
all of them illegitimate.
Nice.
Yeah.
They crawled out of the dungeon one day when they're.
It's strange. I'm getting one of those fucking annoying ass calls. Get out of here. Hold on. Howie. There's no way that's real.
Howie Mandel's calling me right now. This cannot be real. Hey, we heard Bryan's off the podcast. Spot for one more. God, the phone calls will not stop, guys. People are dying to get that coveted third spot. Oh my God.
I thought you were gonna say Howie Mandel's calling. Did you delete my comment? You delete my comment on the fucking Patreon. You pussies!
Free speech.
Bring back Bryan.
No, yeah, that comment just felt like you don't want to read that when you wake up in the morning.
You woke up and got uppercutted by it. Damn. Well, what's funny about it was
read.
You could tell the way he typed it was in that there was
like this.
the way he typed it was just, I'm going for as vulgar and as like it is just, I'm going for the most vile comment.
No.
It wasn't angled towards any black person.
Words.
Yeah, it was just like a string of vulgarity, and then where's Bryan?
Get off the leash. Yeah, just like, what? Mommy isn't home. What can I say right now?
Dad said we can curse. Yeah, it was a dad said we could curse moment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not awesome, but it's kind of
the headspace behind it.
That guy will be. I can't imagine how he'll take the news.
Yeah.
There's gonna.
He's seething.
But maybe he's gonna rewatch that memorial clip we made over and over
and cry a little bit. and not know that Bryan does not give a shit at all. Bryan's probably like, I'm free, whatever.
Deep down, Bryan cares about you. So go watch him on his YouTube.
Yeah.
Fred Dragonia said he's got a big upload spree coming up. So
big upload, dude. I've tried so many times to get him like, just make something, dude. He could do anything, and he chooses to do nothing, which is admirable in a way.
Yeah, it's like, but if that's what you truly know makes you happy.
It's the same thing with Fungal Toe. That's what
can't stop it.
Bothers me. I've seen him play GTA RP. It's way better than any of those GTA RP streamers. And I'm like, you're just doing this for yourself? He's like, absolutely.
But,
he's loving it by himself.
It does, though. Like, sometimes streaming can take the, it's like, it's not the game anymore. It's the job. So, like, these two guys are just, like, gamers in their heart. And it might take away a little bit of the love for the game if it's, like, now it's content.
Yeah. Well, don't think of it that way. I guess would help.
I personally, no, like, if I like a game, like, I can tell right away when I click start streaming if I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
It's time. I need to stream. There's a game out I like. I mean, I can't wait, Because it takes a certain type of person. I was always the little brother that, like, couldn't get a turn on the TV. Mm-hmm. And, like, I don't know. I just have to say, I love when people watch me play a game. Like, I love if something cool happens. Because, like, there's nothing worse than, like, you're playing Skate 3 by yourself in your basement and you hit the craziest trick ever and no one's there to see it. To me, like, that's just like, what? I don't have enough in here. I need it from also out here. So I need that validation of, like, that was awesome, man. And then I can go on. I move on with my day.
I've been playing a lot of Project Zomboid.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about the server, too.
And I've been loving it. And I've also sat there and said, like, this would be perfect to stream. But I feel like when you're streaming, you can't sit there and there's so much information on Zomboid. Sometimes I'm just sitting by a heater going, like, why am I dying? My guy is dying, and Willard has to come over and give me eye drops and fucking, like, give me a suppository and, like, check my temperature. And, like, I'm just trying to figure shit out. I know that if I was in front of people, it would be too frustrating. Because sometimes I'm just like, I'm over encumbered. I got to remove this, and this. If you're trying to also entertain people, I can't even keep this little fucking guy alive. There's no way I can entertain people and keep him alive at the same time.
It was really overwhelming to stream because, like, you open up the first container and there's 50 things in it where I'm like, I don't know what a single thing does. It's going to take me a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to read through these. Also, I played for the first time last night on the server, and I asked Swift, like, hey, you make that into a video? It's like the most pitiful single life of Zomboid maybe ever. I guess I just spawned in the right area where people had cleared out zombies. I didn't see a zombie for an hour, and I was just dying of the cold.
Moldra?
Slowly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The residential area where we spawn, we cut through there.
Well, see, yeah, I was just
and we
like,
have done a
full... Did they mod out zombies?
No, we
like,
did there was a zombie genocide, okay? Like,
okay.
I don't call for genocides, but zombie genocides on my server, that's kill them when you see them. They're kill on sight. Yeah, so we don't take no zombies, and that little residential area, we've wiped them out, and they haven't, like, migrated in there. And they
I was just creeping around, like, where
are they?
Where are the zombies? I was really worried I'd die without ever seeing one, and people would just be like, what? Because already everyone's like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are you... And then Swift brought the first zombies, because I'm just, like, chilling out in the house. He comes over, picks me up, took me to your house. Beautiful house, by the way.
Thank you.
Also, though, it gave that overwhelming, like, I didn't feel like I deserved to be in that house yet, because I'm still walking around with, like, tweezers as a weapon or something. And then I go in there and Stolt is like, looks like a god. Yeah. And, just every box I checked, like, I've never seen this loot ever.
Let me tell you something.
I don't want to jump to a gun right away.
Let me see here. Let me open up Steam. I have been playing now for 50 hours. I had about 15 in it before I started playing on the server. I open up those boxes and I still don't know what the fuck that shit is. It is like half of it. I'm just like, what is this? You know how, like, every game has the like the garbage that you sift through in order to get the good stuff.
Yeah.
I was going through boxes finding random tissues, and I was like, that's just garbage. I had a cold earlier, and Fungal was like, you should put a tissue in your offhand so that you cover, and then we don't get sick, and it doesn't make as much noise. I'm like, why the fuck would I know that? Why would I know to arm myself with a tissue? The game's very complex. And not only that, to talk about
I did
the
not
cold,
realize how.
when we started the server, we had the time the time went by at a quicker rate, and we realized the seasons were going by too fast, so we stopped it, and we happened to have stopped it right in the dead of winter.
It was awful.
And so now it's like we're just stuck in perpetual snowfall. It's fucking horrific. It's so
It's like
fucking
nighttime
cold.
for like an hour of real life too. Like I'm just like in houses that don't have power, freezing to death.
Power turned off. It's dead winter. I spend a lot of time in that saloon, just like huddled by the fire because it's
Yeah. It's like the only thing you can do. Well, I was also getting stir crazy in there because I'm like, I need to explore. I need to see.
Yeah.
I got bad news about your tractor. You had a really cool tractor.
I noticed it was gone.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Swift.
my baby though. That was Fungal's.
Okay.
Fungal might be mad at you.
Ooh, okay, well, Swift's like, here, try the tractor out. And I just,
Swift's really kind of an outsider. He hasn't really worked for any of that stuff. So the outsider gave you the keys. All right, I'm pissed.
well, it was hot wired. You know, I also, I forgot how just massive the map is. So I just started driving down the road, and I drove for like 15 real minutes before I realized, like, I'm never making it back to that base. And I also like the game so realistic, but also I left the lights on the tractor, full tank of gas. I got out for maybe a minute, and it killed the engine while I'm like on the other side of the map.
Oh, killed the battery.
Yeah, which I just didn't. Yeah, sure. I should have thought about that. But why would I think? I didn't know the game was that detailed.
I did the exact. I left the lights on and turned off the engine on a hot wired car. And it killed the battery, and it was the death of me. I've made that same mistake. Yeah,
that's exactly what I did. And then I'm like, the first zombie I encountered. I'm thinking I've never been that geared in my life. Like, Stalt gave me cool pauldrons. I did steal like a cool sword out of someone's bedroom, and I was under the impression that because on my drive I saw like 1,000 dead zombies in the road. Like I'm just thinking I can cut through them like anything. I died to the first zombie I interacted with after like my character was alive for a day and a half, and we killed each other, and it was like I don't know. I finally understand how grueling. Yeah, we went for a bite on each other. Well, I didn't even know how to do the like spacebar push or anything.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like
okay, that is
I
a
didn't
sad
realize
life.
how intense it was.
Well, let me explain to you. Like Omid and Zichum got on, and I told them, "Hey, we're in Muldra. Like, feel free to drop by." And they spawned in West Point, which is one town over for the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
I make my way over to West Point, and I see a house with a bunch of paint buckets outside of it, where they're using empty paint buckets to collect rain. And I'm like, this must be their house. I walk in. They have a little cupboard there. There's some meth. They found meth. Apparently, I took their meth, and then I took their meth. And then I was like, I don't know why. I waited like a day. And they didn't log on that night. And I was like, oh, they're never coming back. So I Molotov their house. And as it's erupting in flames, the heat took me. I ended up dying in there. It cooked my body. And then I like texted Omid. I was like, hey, dude, I burned your fucking house down. And I stole your meth. I'm sorry. And apparently that like fueled him. This guy, like, he went full Rust mode after that. He was like, you did what? You took my meth and you burned down my house? Like, I was like, I didn't think you cared. All of a sudden, I see him streaming. He's on. He's in Rosewood, which is a completely different town. I'm stream sniping at this point. This guy is in the dead of winter. He's in a house by himself. He's cold. It's getting very cold. He's like, I need to warm up. So he builds a fire. The fire spreads, starts lighting his curtains on fire. It's burning his house down. And so he's just like, he's standing just like perfectly far enough away where he doesn't get injured, but he's warm. And then it gets to the point where he's just basically outside standing around embers. He gets in his car and he's just driving, like hopelessly wandering. I stop. I'm like, dude, Olive Branch. I find him. I stream snipe him. I find him. I'm like, here you go, man. Here's 2 tanks of gas. I give him some gas cans. I siphoned some gas off a car I found, and I gave him a cassette tape of Devo. Whip it.
Nice.
Here you go. There's some road tunes. And
it's a nice gesture.
And then I saw he was driving off, and then he just died of the cold out there in the darkness.
The cold is shockingly cold. I mean,
this game, at first I was like, I don't get it. And then it hit that like kinchy bug in me where I was like, anything can happen. Like anything. I got scratched and I was like, oh, I'll pour some cologne on that to disinfect it, you know, for the astringent qualities of cologne. Apparently, disinfect.
I did not know that was a thing,
and I wrapped some denim straps around my arm and it was fine. And then all of a sudden, I started getting a cough, and I was like, "Oh shit, is it infected?" And then my guy just plops over in the tavern while everybody's upstairs. They come downstairs, and my body, like Shaun of the Dead, my body reanimates. And in the kerfuffle of them trying to kill me, Willard tries shooting me in the face, hits Fungal in the neck with a shotgun, with a shotgun pellet. And so Fungal's running around going like, ah! His neck is spraying blood. Like anything can fucking happen in this game.
Yeah.
The game rocks. I did a complete 180 on it. And talking about when you went into the tavern and Stalt's in there all decked out, if you look at the leaderboards on there, on that server, me and Bizzle have died more than anybody. Me and Bizzle have died like 20 times each. Then everybody else is trickling in at like 10 deaths. Stalt, it's been like a week and a half.
He looked like he
has never died.
He looks like a survivor.
He has never died once. And at first I was like, dude, good on you. And now it's starting to piss me off because he's like, hey, where are you guys going? And I'm like, oh, we're going into town. He's like, are you driving? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm good. I'll stay here. What the fuck? Dude, he won't even like play with me because he's scared I'm going to kill him. And because every time I'm driving and we go out of town, you know, I come back and the people I was with, I'm like, they died back there, dog. You know, I hit trees and stuff in the cars. They come out of nowhere. But I'm starting to like plot a little bit. Stalt's probably editing this like, you motherfucker. Well, I'm like, this guy, I have to get this guy dead. Like he scoffs every time I come in and I'm like, coughing. He's like, oh, you sick? Huh? Is it tough out there? And he's sitting there purifying water and crafting pauldrons, and he's got more zombie kills than anybody. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing different?
Survive.
My guy, I can sit there and even in the tavern, I've had a whole life where I've just been in the tavern eating by the fire and I've died. Like my guy just dies. I don't know how it happens. I'm gonna plot his death somehow. I'm gonna get him killed.
I didn't act on it, but when I was in there, I got that incredible like, you have it a lot. Omid has it ever since Hunt Showdown. Like, I just saw how hard it must have been to get all that stuff. And I wanted to like break every window when everyone left and just like lead zombies in there, burn it down. I wanted to kill everyone. But I didn't.
It's like when you're a kid and you're trying to build a sandcastle and then you look over and someone has a way better sandcastle than you've ever built. Yeah. And you're like, I just want to kick it.
And they're not even using molds.
Yeah. They're just freehanding it. Yeah. Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
I guess it's just a spiteful envy.
For the audience out there, if you haven't played Project Zomboid, highly recommend it. Highly. Very good. Very good game.
It will be hard for a long time. Maybe forever until it gets any easier.
I would get a homie. I would recommend playing with a friend.
Yeah, I've like basically only ever played solo before, and it was just awful.
I was watching Omid, and it didn't look like it was fun. It looked like one of those games where you were just waiting till you died, and you were like, how far can I get? You know?
There is like I like it though, knowing that there is that saloon and then going off on your own, because then you're like,
yeah, I got something to fall back on.
Path. But also like my character is homeless, is like its trait. So like, I don't know. I'm like, this is like very much a home.
Yeah.
But also like, I don't want to be like, I don't want my homeless representation to be me going off and eating trash and dying to the cold. You know, like I feel like I should be a little better than that.
Yeah.
But that's ultimately what kind of happened. So. And I had a newspaper hat, which is awesome that you can make those.
Dude, you can make anything. Yeah. And the fact that it has like workshop compatibility, there's a mod that we have for RVs. It adds interiors to like the back of vans and box trucks.
Okay, you keep talking about this. I have to piss already. Dude. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna keep talking. The RVs you can then just go into the back and it's like a completely livable space. It's like having a mobile apartment. And the thought of just driving into a city, chilling in the back of your RV, then leaving, going to a different city in your own little apartment, it's nice. I don't know. If you guys haven't played yet, you should definitely give it a try. And now that he's gone, I feel like a little tinkle might be on the horizon for me, but not quite yet. But I feel like I should probably just go get this thimble-sized amount of piss out of me before it becomes an issue in 20 minutes, and then we have another pee break, which would further mess up the rhythm of the podcast. You know, it's like, would you rather have 2 fucked up rhythms or just one? At this point, I think we should just have one. I'm making an executive decision here. I'm going to go piss. I had 4 episodes ago, I had an insane pimple right here on the end of my nose. And it's never quite gone away. You can still see like a dot on the end of my nose. I hope it turns into a mole or something and look like a witch. Be right back.
My roommate was showing me the new setup too for the stuff that I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
For things. We're building something in the basement here that can't talk about on a podcast.
Yeah.
Someone sent me
I know exactly what it is. I've seen Napoleon Dynamite. You guys are building a time machine with crystals.
Yeah. Is that what his brother is like ordering or whatever?
Yeah, because Uncle Rico wants to go back in time so he can play.
I haven't seen that movie in so long, and that's awesome.
The only person that I really love about that movie is Uncle Rico.
That actor is incredibly funny too in the show Dreamcore LLC. He plays like a mad scientist.
I didn't know he had other things. I thought it was just like his spandex shirts in that movie fucking rock. There's one of them that's like blue. I'm like, I want that so bad.
Like a white brick on it or something. Yeah. He plays that part perfectly. He's in White Lotus too, the HBO show.
Really?
Which is weird. Because that's like an actual.
I knew somebody that thought
really good
Uncle
show.
Rico was Kevin Bacon. They're like, wasn't that Kevin Bacon? I was like, no, Kevin Bacon was not in Napoleon Dynamite.
He's a guy that I get confused with Kevin Bacon sometimes, but
it's not Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico. No, that's pretty far.
Yeah, that's a far stretch.
Audience, watch Dreamcore LLC sometime when you're high on weed. Yeah, it's one of those good shows. It's like Adult Swim, just
Is there
pure.
any show that isn't better on weed? Have you ever seen a show that's like, this is a sober only show?
Maybe like The Boy in the Striped Pajamas or something. I don't know. Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. Yeah.
It's
You
more
know
of a
what's funny is like
meth movie.
some of Schindler's List gets more absurd if you're smoking while watching it, but it's more harrowing if you're sober for sure.
Yeah, heroin would probably be pretty good for it too, is what you're saying. If you're in the audience and you've ever done meth or heroin, what's it like watching something while on that? Or do you not want to watch things
I think that's two very different vibes.
True. Yeah. Well, if you've done either, I'm curious about both.
If you're doing both at the same time.
Heroin's probably more of a movie, but you're not even there.
Yeah.
And then meth, you might, I don't know.
I don't feel like you could sit down and watch a fucking movie if you're on meth. Yeah. Where's the commercial break, dude? I wanna
watch Train Spotting on heroin. Yeah.
Have you seen Scavenger's Reign?
You brought this up last time.
You need to watch it now. I'm at the end now. It's insane. You need to watch it.
It's rare that you watch a show, so
I know.
I do need. Well, also, I'm going to be at Sam's house next month.
I'm not watching it again with you. You can fuck off.
Well, I'm just saying it would be a great opportunity to make me.
No,
watch
I'm not
something.
going to. You're going to do it on your own.
It doesn't have to be that though. Just start thinking about a movie that I wouldn't watch on my own.
Mm-hmm.
You've got me trapped.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how I think about it when friends come over. Like, okay, they can't leave.
You know, you say that, but at the same time, I feel like one of the worst date ideas and one of the worst hangout ideas you can do is sitting down on a couch and watching a movie together. I think it's like the worst way to hang out.
Oh, that's not like how I hang out with like every girl.
How do you know anything about them? How do you watch something with somebody and
there's
you're just cohabitating the same space together,
yeah,
but you're really doing no connection there.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, but also you can learn a lot about someone based on the movies they like.
Well, then talk about that, and then when you guys split up, you go, "Here's your homework. I'm gonna watch this. You watch it too." And then we'll talk about it next time.
Maybe I just need to join a book club or something, movie club.
Yeah.
I already have a couple planned. Like, if we get to a point where it's like, oh, what do we do? I'm like, well, try to get you to watch this movie for like 4 years. Maybe I could force you to.
Yeah, in the AM maybe you might be able to
Yeah.
hook me at like midnight watching.
Wake up! Yeah. Sam, you gotta get up. You're finally gonna watch They Came Together.
Yeah,
I
am gonna go see Dune Part 2 in theaters on release. I'm not gonna get the big bucket though. I kind of want the bucket.
I would love that bucket, but I don't know if I'm going to an AMC.
I'm not going to AMC. Our AMC it's in the middle of like a construction zone in the mall, and you have to go through a bunch of like yellow tape and shit. And I'm like, I don't feel safe. And have you ever been in a mall where like the mall part's closed down, but AMC is inside? And so you're just kind of like walking through like an abandoned area.
Like Circle Center Mall in downtown Indianapolis.
Like any mall,
is a place
basically.
where it's like, don't go there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I like got mad at my dad once because we were in Indianapolis I was like state for History Day with just my friend, and we were like little kids. And we're like, we want to go to the mall. Like, they've got like stuff there. And my dad's like, I don't know. I hear like really bad things about that mall. And we both were like, you're being weird. Like, don't be a pussy. Like, just go to this mall.
Yeah.
And then now that I'm an adult, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't take kids there.
Yeah.
Probably not. I have heard rumors, if you're a patron that also lives in Indianapolis, big news for you. The people that bought, this is going to maybe pertain to maybe one person out there will hear this and know anything about what I'm talking about. But the people that redid the whole Bottle Work district bought the mall and are going to redo the mall and make it cool, potentially. They're gentrifying the shit out of the mall, basically. That's what they're going to do.
Those things need something. They look horrific from the outside.
Do you think malls will be a thing that ever come back?
No.
Like things come back in fashion?
Well, no, I don't. I think the internet has forever ruined the way people consume, and to the point where I don't think stores are going to do so well in the future in any capacity.
There's like nothing really I prefer buying in person, but maybe shoes.
Yeah.
Like I like to try on a pair of shoes.
I like to try on clothes.
Yeah, that's true. It can be a risk. I've splurged a couple times where I'm like, this is a cool shirt, and I get it, and it's a nightgown on me.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Also, like jeans, if you go
You get it.
Levi, like
I swear they vary.
they vary
Even
for the
it's like,
same
this is a
size.
set. Yeah,
I will get
this is a
3
set
of the
size?
same size
How is that possible? It's measurements.
because
How are
they
they?
fucking suck at sewing shit up. I don't know. That's weird.
What happened to Levi? That used to be a real American brand, and now
What the hell happened, man?
I don't know.
You know, by the way, I figured out a little something. I was sitting there poking. I forget what the hell I was putting in. You know that little coin slot pocket that's on all jeans. I was like, what the hell is that
pocket.
for? Is that for like lipstick?
It's for your AirPods.
It's for AirPods. Yeah. No, I think I was putting my AirPods in it, and I was like, that's like a perfect pocket. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell's supposed to go in there? It's for a pocket watch originally.
Oh.
And then they just kept it.
I thought it was for coins or something.
No, it's for a fucking pocket watch. And they were just like, I guess we'll just keep that forever and always.
I kind of like that when they keep like a legacy design on something, though. Where it's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense, but it's my grandpa. I don't have any grandpas anymore, but my if I had a grandpa, he might be like, this is cool.
You want to hear the saddest Great Depression story about my grandpa and a watch? He
feel like I've heard it, but I don't know. I can't think of.
I'm gonna
It's not the one where they were feeding possums sweet potatoes and eating them or anything.
No. For the audio listeners, if you're hangry one day, a sweet potato really makes possum meat taste better, and so you trap a possum and then you feed it sweet
Why is that
potatoes.
just for the, and if you're an audio listener, we look really good today. So
That one's just for the audio listeners.
just audio listeners.
Visual.
Eat possum.
The people that are watching this on
Visual
YouTube.
listeners,
Eat a possum raw dog. You don't need to fucking, you do not need to feed it sweet potatoes.
audio listeners, keep eating those possums, sweet potato. Possums are fucking awesome, by the way. But sorry.
Okay, so my grandfather grew up in incredible poverty, and he had I think his father had went out of his way to buy him a nice pocket watch. It was a brass
He ate it
pocket
for dinner.
watch, and I think it was like the week he got it. He went out to the outhouse, and when he was wearing we're from the fucking South, dude. He was wearing what are those things called overalls or whatever.
clan hood.
His clan hood. When he went to go take off his clan hood, his damn pocket watch fell down the shithole of the outhouse. And his my great grandfather was like this insane. If I dropped a watch down an outhouse, I would say it's fucking gone, dude. I would just tell my dad I got mugged.
Well, that's like, the hope for your family is like, I hope he was like, one day my grandchildren will let this go. They will just fucking buy a new watch.
Yeah. I really wish he still had it so I could have the shit watch.
It would be cool. Yeah, reminder.
That would be like the watch from Pulp Fiction. Like, this came through generations to get to you.
Definitely brought this up before, and I thought I grabbed it from my dad's house last time I was there. If like next podcast, if I find it, I'll show it. But when I was a kid, my grandma bought me a Browns hat because she thought it was a Bengals hat.
Yeah.
And then I, in Sharpie, drew stripes on it in a B, and it just looks awful. And I wore that for months, being like, this is my only Bengals hat, but this thing fucking... I just thought of, you're a little kid, you're like, it looks real.
Yeah.
I look at it now, I'm like, Jesus Christ. This is grotesque.
That's funny.
It's not even the right color scheme,
That's
really.
funny.
It's got brown on it, not black. I'm like, I should have Sharpied in. It's funny, all this shit, like when you're a kid. I used to do that with Star Wars toys, too. Like, take a Sharpie to them, like clones.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a perfectly white can and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to make them look cool. And now when I look at them, I'm like, you dumb little shit. Like, what is this? It just looks like a kid went crazy on it.
Yeah, I used to have this Tallahassee Tiger Sharks t-shirt that I think it had, but no, it wasn't. I think it was Tiger Sharks. I don't know. I had some shirt where it had like claw marks across the ribs, and then the shirt was literally torn there, and then underneath it, it was fabric. So it was like multi-layered. So it looked like it had like torn through me, and then like the fabric under was red. I used to think it was just like a shirt that had extra, I used to think that shirt was the coolest fucking shirt ever made. It honestly, still looking back, is.
It sounds really cool, so yeah.
But I had that, and then I also drank enough 7-Up where, you remember when you take the lid off the 7-Up, you can win stuff? I won.
I don't know if I remember that, but.
Like, I used to. This is early internet. I used
like the McDonald's Monopoly fucking.
Exactly. I took the lid off and I had the code. I went to 7up.com and I put in the code and they were like, you won free boxers, 7-Up boxers. And so they shipped them to me and I wore those, and that, I think it was a Tallahassee Tiger Shark shirt. Might be misremembering. It might have been like Wild Adventures or some bullshit. Or Busch Gardens. I wore those until they didn't even fucking fit anymore. Until that shirt was like it showed my belly button. The 7-Up boxers, I got
sticking through.
I got so fucking fat. I love my 7-Up boxers so much. I took scissors and I cut a V in the side so that the fucking waistband would fit my fat ass. And like the crotch was worn out on these things.
That's the spirit of your grandfather inside you.
Nobody was separating me from my 7-Up boxers. Those things rocked.
They stink, Sam. You gotta take them off,
dude. Where my balls and ass were, it wasn't even green anymore. They were green, and they said 7-Up across the front.
Green and yellow.
No, they were just like gray. Like the green had just washed out. And
that's so.
Yeah, it's just
gross,
funny what you think
also,
is awesome when you're a kid, and then you look back on it, you're like, dude, just let them go. There's 7-Up boxes.
Like, I'm still a pack rat, but I get more now as an adult of like what my parents would be like, just let it go.
Just let it
I'm like, no,
go.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Just like dumb. Like I can't think of any good examples right now, so it's actually an awful segue, but you bring this back in time. I don't know why you talking about the tiger shirt reminded me, but the tractor in Zomboid made me think, those things are scary. It's like a big ass tractor. Also, like, kind of disappointing when you hit a zombie in that tractor, it doesn't just fucking plow him over super easy. Like, I got scratched in my tractor from a zombie I ran over. Anyway, I grew up one day. There was this kid that fell out of his grandpa's tractor and got run over by the back tire, and it left like tire tracks across him. And it sounds fake, but like the pressure of it bulged out his eyes, and they never really went away. Like, he just had bulged out eyes. It's like cartoon logic, but he was weird looking because he got ran over by a tractor.
At what age?
But like, I don't know, like 8 or 10 or something. Like, he should have died, but he just like kind of bulged. And
It's-
I always found that kid very frightening.
Yeah.
But no one ever like made fun of him for it because it's just like a very sad.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't seem to, but he had like bloodshot, bulgy eyes because a tractor almost popped him out of his head.
Did you ever read the Dark Tower series that Stephen King wrote?
No, I saw the bad movie.
Oh, okay. Well, there's like a kid in that series, I think, where he's like in modern time, and then
Tractor.
he ends up like I don't know how that fucking universe works. He's in modern time, and he ends up going into the Dark Tower time or whatever alternate universe. But the last thing he remembers in his time in present day is he gets hit by a car, and the tires roll over his stomach. And he's like, the last thing I remember is tasting shit in my mouth, which means I guess like his like stomach,
pushed it
yeah,
up.
his stomach gets flattened and it pushes all that shit into his mouth. I'm like, I couldn't imagine getting squished, not to death. Like if I get squished and I die, like that's a mercy. But like getting squished to the point where your eyes bulge out of your head forever,
Poop comes out of your mouth. Yeah.
and it. Yeah,
I would love to get
his feet are
that
bigger
guy.
than ever. His feet
Have him on the
get bulged.
podcast, and he's just like, just to ask, because I've never even thought about it. Like, did you taste poopy? Or like, what did you taste in your mouth? Like, what came up? Because I bet it would make you shit your pants and throw up. Just that amount of just like, oh.
Yeah.
But I think he got lucky. It was like those rows of like planting. He fell into one of those and just got like lightly mauled by a tractor. He just got kind of crushed.
All that farm shit is scary as hell. And people like they brought my kid to a like on a field trip to a farm, and they're letting them like pet cows and stuff. And I'm like, cows are awfully docile, but they're also like heavy as shit, and they can kill somebody in an instant without even knowing that they're doing it.
Oh, I got laughed at when I brought up on the podcast. They're bigger than you'd think, but they are.
You know how many people die every year from just cows fucking them up on accident, or they step on someone's head after they fall or something.
You fall in the cow pit.
Yeah,
and they
I don't know, dude.
Trample you. Yeah, probably 1 million people a year.
It has to be. Has to be.
How many people die to cows here? It's probably 10.
Yeah, but how often are people near cows? Is my point.
I don't. In certain areas,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I think
my
farm
stepdad-
shit's a lot more dangerous than people give it credit for. People are like, "Oh, a
Also-
little farm has to be all fun and games." I'm like, dude, those animals are fucking dangerous.
It's also like you have to do a lot of very real and like horrifying tasks on a real farm.
Yeah.
And it desensitizes you. Like my stepdad, his uncle owns, he used to have just like a milk farm. That can't be what they're called.
Yeah.
Like cows for milk. I don't know. And he would just talk about like they had so many barn cats for just the property to take rid of rats and shit. But like cows would step on them. Like there'd just be mauled animals and like dead cows that you have to deal with and like pick it up in a fucking tractor and move it. And like, I don't know, the way like working there as a kid, my life would be so drastically different versus like my mom. People in my school would be like, hey, you got like a little farm. We had miniature horses that just kind of do their own thing.
Yeah.
And chickens that just kind of do their own thing. Like we never really had an animal where I'm like, this thing could kill me.
Like a lot of that equipment.
We had a pig once, which I guess could eat me if I fell really hard.
My uncle had like a homestead with a pond, and in order to like a pond naturally, if you don't have like a beach area, like how do you mow the bank? So they have these things called sickle bars that is basically like a giant hedge trimmer, where it has like sharp blades that just kind of like rub between. It's like a giant shear like thing that you would use to like shear a sheep, but it's like 12 feet long, and I'm like, I would never run this to cut the bank of anything if there is a soul on the property. Like it just looks like if someone steps in front of it, it would just take their fucking legs off like that. It's just
Awesome
like a
weapon for zombies.
yeah.
By the way.
Yeah. Have you ever seen those big like things that they use to do trenches on a tractor? It's like a giant chainsaw. You see them on the side of the road.
I know what they look like.
It's just like a chainsaw that
I'm sure I
attaches
know
to a
it if I
tractor.
saw it. I just can't think of what it looks like.
But these like sickle bars, they fucking weird me out, dude. A lot of farm equipment's just super dangerous. And
Farm's a great place to go in a zombie apocalypse. Find a farmer,
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows at least one professional farmer.
It's weird because I was watching The Walking Dead, and I think it's like season 2. They go to the farm, Herschel's farm.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that's it. They found it. This is where the show should end. And then they proceeded to do the worst series of like decisions I've ever seen in a TV show.
Do they like keep zombies there? Or so,
They like
they're,
waste.
trying to...
They find a zombie in the well, and they're like, "We need to go down there and get the zombie out." I'm like, he's been
Drop
in
him.
there rotting for like a month. Like,
Yeah.
give it up. Just pour concrete in the well and go find a different well. Go dig another one.
I'd drop bricks on him
Yeah.
until he exploded. Like,
At what point, even if
well,
you
I guess,
dragged
like,
a
they-
zombie out
they-
of a well, when would you drink from it again?
okay, I'm so stupid. For a second, I was just thinking they're like, we got to kill that zombie. Let's pull him out. They want the water.
They want the
from
water.
the well.
Yeah. They're gonna pull
There's
him
a
out,
zombie down there.
and then they're like, "We'll drink it." I'm
down.
like, they keep showing the zombie down there, and he's like bloated, and he's like, the water's all like gross in there with him. I'm like, I wouldn't drink that 6 months later. I wouldn't drink that a year
Yeah.
later. Even if you poured like 8 gallons of bleach down there,
Chernobyl down there.
yeah,
That's not
it's
good.
gone. Just cement it, dig another one, and they do that, and then they sit there and like, there's like a missing girl or something, and they're like, we're gonna search the area for days and risk all these lives and stuff. And
Nah,
why?
Yeah,
You're on a
it's-
farm.
well,
Just fucking chill.
because they have to make conflict. Like, I do feel like a lot of zombie movies, it'd just be so, maybe not simple, but like, yeah, you get a place like that, you hunker down, okay?
Yeah.
You build a big wall, and then you
Chill.
don't do anything super stupid, and you're pretty much,
You're set until you run out of food or something like that.
yeah. Well, then people always talk too about like, oh, realistically, zombies can only last for like 2 weeks or something before they just fall apart. But
You ever read that book,
let's
World
say
War
that's
Z?
not real. No, but I've seen the movie. And those types of zombies, you're fucked. Okay,
Yeah.
like there's certain types of zombies you're dead.
Well, in World War Z, they I think winter comes and it freezes them, and then as it thaws, so they're like safe during the winter, and then as it thaws, they
frogs.
start to like come back. As it, yeah, they just start wandering.
Just go
again.
around in the winter and hit them with a hammer.
I think that's what they do. They send out
Oh.
crews to like shoot them in the head while they're thawing out, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer for like the new Walking Dead show? It's on like Twitter.
They need to fucking
They
give
now
it up. They need to
they
give
have
it up.
hordes of like millions of zombies. I'm like, where are they? It's just getting worse, I guess. Like they just get more people, but like I don't know, dude. I feel like the prison. I remember they get to that prison. I know it's obviously I haven't seen the show since it came out, but like the governor comes or whatever and fucks it all up. But just an easy place to
that's
hold
a
down, you'd
perfect
think.
place.
Like local jail even would be great.
Yeah.
Like a hardware store. Like I feel like there's a lot of places.
Would you? I've noticed that this is probably the most real life thing that's going to happen. But how quickly would you lose your humanity? Because like at that prison, they show up and there's like prisoners already there, and they're like, "This is our ring." I would just walk in and I'd be like, "Dude, I'm sorry, the world's falling apart, dude. You're already in prison. I'm just gonna fucking kill you before you even talk to me. You're a dangerous guy. You were in prison before the
I
apocalypse.
just sold weed, man. Get on the ground.
I don't know who you are, and you're scaring me.
I'd take my big sickle, cut their legs off.
That would be a perfect thing during a zombie apocalypse. Is that sickle bar? We should be able to get one of
That's
those
what
for Zomboy.
that's what I just
yeah.
said, like,
I didn't
20
even think about
seconds
that.
ago.
Yeah, you were saying a farm would be a perfect place to go. I didn't think about using it as like a.
Oh my god!
It's-
Yeah, everything. There's a weapon for mowing down fields.
Look at this thing. It's just
of zombies.
that thing is
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
But then there's like crawlers. But then you just do another pass by when they're
I mean,
crawling and cut their
crawlers.
heads off.
Yeah. That would
Well,
cut
zombies,
somebody
it
in
gets their
half like
ankle.
this if they're laying down. It would-
Well, it's like an inch off the ground. They could cut their feet off.
What if they're walking like Oscar Pistorius afterwards? They're still
I
upright.
don't know what that means.
He's double amputee. He's the Blade Runner guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just
Well,
walking
then
on the
you-
nubs. Zombies don't feel pain. I think they would still walk on nubs. You'd keep
Yeah,
having to
of
do
course.
pass-bys.
Most of them are like, like they have no arms or something. They're just like, I don't know. I loved when I was a kid thinking about just like every time I go in the hardware store, like this is where I go.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a fun like little hypothetical.
You know
Like,
what?
Oh yeah, everything's a weapon.
You know what changed me as a kid? Was I would always think like zombie apocalypse. Like how would I do it? Yeah, there was even a book I bought that was like what to do in a zombie apocalypse. 2-story house. First thing you do, fill up your bathtubs with water. Then you take a sledgehammer, destroy the staircase, and you live up on the second floor. And the staircase, you have a rope ladder that you drop down if you need to
that's cool,
leave, and then that way nobody can come up to you. And I'm like, oh, that's cool and everything. And then I watched Dawn of the Dead when that came out in 2004.
Yeah.
And like the opening
I was
scene.
gonna say like I Am Legend, like just immediately, like okay. Well,
Yeah, I'm fucked. Yeah.
yeah.
No, and in Dawn of the Dead, it's like the opening scene is what they never show in zombie apocalypses. They're just chilling there in their bed, and then the door opens. It's their like 7-year-old daughter, and she's zombified already. She jumps on him, attacks him. I'm like, I would not be. And they have to kill their own daughter.
Yeah. How quick do you lose your humanity then? Okay, when
it'd
it's
be
your
gone
kids.
instantly. Yeah. I would.
Then you're like Herschel on the farm or whatever. You're like, we can keep them in a shed, they're fine.
Yeah.
Or like Shaun of the Dead, where they've got him at the end playing video games.
Yeah.
Still swiping.
I think there's in that movie, there was also a moment where it was just so panic inducing for me for no reason. And it's when they first get to the mall and they're like trying to close the door, and there's like an Asian guy that's just walking. And then he turns and like sees them. It catches their attention. And you realize at that point he's a zombie because his arm's missing and it's just meat hanging there. And he fucking runs at them. They must have gotten like an Olympic runner to be this extra for a zombie, because I have never seen someone
me or you
close the distance so quickly. I hope it's you, because you're. Oh God, is my internet going
see
out?
If I can load the internet.
Okay, are we back?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
You were saying an Asian zombie ran at a man.
Like you would not believe.
Holy
Dude,
shit,
I
was
just
on the
went
edge of my
upstairs,
seat.
and you know how like people make fun of just like white ladies for having those Stanley cups. It's like fucking
with all the accessories.
yes, yeah. It's just like that's the
And the
thing
lead.
to have is like a insulated cup for some reason. Abby bought one of those when they like first came out, and she had it and was just like, "That's my cup," like whatever, and she just drank out of it. And I think she's realized that people make fun of people with Stanleys now, because I went up there and she has like a different cup just sitting in the sink. That dude,
Society pressure.
I know. She
Sure.
had one, she loved it and everything. She's like, "It's an orange cup, it's cool." And then she realized that people were like, people with those are lame or something, and she just went and got like a no name. Like,
You have one of those, you're a bitch. Yeah.
yeah.
My friend and I the other night were talking
And she's
about
like, I want to be known for being a bitch by my demeanor, not by the cup that I carry, you know?
yeah. I want you to see it on my face.
I want you to see it in the way that I conduct a conversation, not with the accessories that I have. And, you got to respect her for that. By the way, she's watching Breaking Bad now, and every time I talk to her about it, she's always siding with Skyler. I'm like, you fucking bitch. You stupid bitch. No. Skyler is such
He's the good guy.
Skyler is such an asshole, though. Like, she's such an unlikable asshole. She's not wrong, But
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's ultimately like
she's just such a fucking
I think it's unfair
buzzkill.
how much like hate that actress got for the
don't
job.
hate
Like
the
I always think
actress,
it's
I hate the
stupid. Yeah,
character.
when people like can't like separate actor from job.
Oh, like the guy
like,
that
I'd
plays
be
Joffrey
horrifi-
from Game of Thrones?
Yeah,
it like ruined
if you're
his
an
acting.
actor
yeah.
that plays like even like you do an incredible job being the Thorn.
Yeah.
People are just like, you're a dick. I hate you. Yeah, I'm just getting a paycheck, man. Like, what the hell?
I think the bad guy
But-
from Dirty Harry got death threats.
That's just like what a stupid person.
Which is funny
Like,
because
yeah.
if you watch the movie, he's such like he's not the most evil character ever put to film by any means. He's just like kind of a bad guy. He's just like he's like a bad guy with no personality. He's not like, have you ever seen that movie Blue Valentine with Dennis Hopper, and he plays this guy Frank?
No.
Or no, it's not Blue Valentine, Blue Velvet.
No, I think you've brought it up. That name sounds familiar, but I've never
He's
seen
like
it.
the most evil, deranged character ever made. And I don't think Dennis Hopper got any flack for it. And then just random guy with a gun from a Clint Eastwood movie, and they're like, "You piece of shit, I hope you die." I'm like, dude, you guys aren't watching the same level of menace that I am or something. I don't know.
I want to be the guy that like sends death threats to Mike Myers for Dr. Evil. Like, I hate you. I know what you did to Austin Powers.
You want to do what to the world? You want to extort how much
Lasers?
money? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll never get that. People that I just get all whooped up about the actor. Like,
Yeah.
it's like not having object permanence or something. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's insanity. But speaking of an actor I want to kill, can I show this puppet video?
Yeah, do it. Let's do it.
And also, I don't want to kill this guy. I've tried to make this easier. If this somehow makes it harder for you, I'm so goddamn sorry. But there's this video I've been watching, like, I don't know, 5 times a day and just, like, really obsessing. And there's a little bit of a controversy in it.
That's, by the way, not an exaggeration. He sent me this video probably, it was days and days ago, and he's still talking about it and still watching it. This is an actual obsession with this video.
I'm starting to understand him more.
Yeah.
I'm starting to become him. I've even ordered something that would play into me becoming this man. But I want you to listen to this, and I want you to tell me, dear audience, if you hear the word lust or love, because there's a massive difference when you hear this. And I hear lust, Sam hears love, and I hope I'm not putting any of my own stuff on it.
Yeah.
Because that would be the worst way this could be taken.
I think it's love.
All right, we have to pause here for a second. This song that they used is copyrighted and all the shit. It's blocked in some countries. The artist will probably try to monetize it. It's a Patreon episode, so I'm just gonna sing the fucking song.
Okay, listen to this.
Yeah, I know this life can really beat you down. You wanna scream, but you won't make a sound. Got so much weight that you've been holding, but won't show any emotion as a man that goes unspoken. That we can't cry when life gets hard. Unconditional love for women, children, and dogs.
Listen to that. Oh. Wait, does it not replay the audio?
Unconditional love for women, children, and dogs. We know that we just have to play our parts. And don't nobody give a damn about our broken hearts. Yeah.
But, okay, does he say unconditional
cry when life gets
lust
hard.
for women, children, and dogs?
Love for women, children,
or love? Because
and dogs.
what a difference.
We know that we just have to
One more
play
time.
our parts. Hard. Unconditional love for women, children, and
Sounds like
dogs.
lust.
We know that we just have to play our parts.
I love the ending too.
And don't nobody give a damn about our broken hearts. Yeah.
I think
It's my favorite video right now.
first of all, that guy has to give his grandchildren nightmares just by looking at them.
I'm gonna just go on a limb and say this guy doesn't have grandchildren, but
This guy
also, like,
okay, when I was talking about the family pedophile that looked like a pedophile, that
Yeah.
his name was Ray. He looked like that fucking guy.
Well,
My
puppets don't
mom was like, you'll know who it is when you walk in. I walked in and I saw that guy at the table. I was like, that has to be the worst thing to
But
get
also,
molested
like,
by if you're a kid.
what a bad hand to be dealt in life, because he's clearly got some sort of horrific, like, skin disease.
Yeah.
But I don't love this video because I mean it adds a lot to
It
it how
does.
insane he looks. But
I don't think
I love
I don't
more
think
the-
I've seen a human being that looks like this guy.
the puppets, like, looking at him at parts and then looking at each other
He's
and how
moving
close
his
they are.
fucking mouth like he is
Yeah,
a puppet.
Well, the fact that he's when you're doing puppets, you're not supposed to see your mouth move is like a big part of ventriloquism. He's moving his mouth to an audio that's overlaid, so like the puppets aren't even talking.
He's not even singing himself. Yeah, he's not doing any sort of ventriloquism.
It's the subtlety too of him just being like,
Maybe he's a puppet.
he look that what a turn if oh my god, what an unbelievable idea for like a secret account. Like you just come into those ultra realistic masks that you're controlling and you're also having puppets.
Oh. This guy's next
Who's
level. Either that or this is just the creepiest looking man I've ever seen in my life.
Well, at first I'm like, is this satire? And then I checked his page and it's all like 40 like videos and he's been doing puppets for a long time. And no, I think he's just I just love that he even knows that song. Like he doesn't look like a man that
would even listen to
picked that audio. And then when I first heard it, I'm like, what is unconditional lust for women, children, and dogs mean? But apparently it could also be unconditional love for women, children, and dogs, which is also like you look like that. You don't want to be saying either.
And I think the lyric is unconditional love. But
But what does it sound like?
there might have been a minor discrepancy between songwriter and performer.
Yeah.
You know, the go.
I'm gonna put my own little twist.
Yeah, I'm gonna change.
Uncontrollable lust.
I'm gonna change one key lyric just for
The
my
guys in the
personal.
studio, like what? It really sounds like you're saying lust. Can we get one more?
Nah, that was good. We're gonna.
That
I don't
was
want.
perfect.
I don't want to pay for the tape. It's digital,
Yeah.
dude. There's no tape. You can do it again. Nah.
I think I captured my real meaning with this one.
Yeah. Unconditional lust.
I just like
I knew there was no way in hell the lyric was unconditional lust, but there is an ST in there.
also like, have you ever even heard that song before? Like, it could just be a crazy song made by a crazy man.
It could be.
But
wait, was it again unconditional love for
women, children, and dogs, which is just a weird line. Anyway, like, there's no beating around it. That's just like a weird. It's all a song about just being a man in today's world.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
said it
we
earlier,
love-
but it's definitely like the most divorced dad song of all time.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, absolutely.
The people that listen to that song are the same people that have like the Blue Lives Matter flags outside their house and shit. It's
They're like,
the same type of people.
My kids love me. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Don't ask them, but I'm pretty. Have you seen recently that the girl that posted a video about her dad being like a deadbeat dad, and then he reacted to it on Twitter, and it's like, I'm not a deadbeat dad. Like, my daughter is exaggerating. Have you seen any of that controversy that's been going around?
No.
Controversy. I mean, it's just like a TikTok back and forth. But a girl made a video like, my dad sucks, and he left our family to become a breakdancer. And the worst part is, he's like a really good breakdancer, and he's a 60-year-old man that's on the news. He's on like all these programs for being like the world's oldest active. Like, he can fully spin on his head.
Yeah.
And he's old, which is awesome. Okay, that's undeniably awesome. And then he replied, and right away in the reply video, you're like, okay, I don't really know what's up, because he's wearing a Bitcoin like Hawaiian shirt. And then like half of his reaction video is him being like, and I still got it. He starts breakdancing in the video. And when in his breakdance studio, he has a massive Bitcoin flag in the background, which it's like, hey man, I put some money into some Ethereum and Bitcoin. But like, when you start making it your personality, it's like, okay, something might be going on here. And then Elon Musk commented on the video like, I fucking love this, or like, right there with you. And then also in the video, he's like, yeah, I gave this girl's mom like $5 million or something. Like, she's got nothing to. But the weird part for me on his reaction is he's listing off all his children's names and what they do, and he's clearly reading off like a script. Like, he's like, I have one son that is a hedge manager in New York. He's getting rich. His name is, and then I've got a daughter that, and then she reacts to it again. It's like, this guy's fucking insane. Like, he is legitimately, like, I tried to make it a funny first video, but this guy's like crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just a really interesting, like, I would hate, well, first off, I never like, I might talk shit. I guess it's like the same thing on a podcast about like, this family member is fucking weird. But like, I'd never make a solo TikTok just like calling someone out. But then the fear of like, if my grandpa or someone was like, actually, this guy's a bitch, like, not me.
Yeah.
Like, what a weird, like, you already know something's wrong in the family because they're talking to each other over calling each other out on social media. I don't know. It's just a funny.
I think Spielberg's daughter like started to make an OnlyFans and was like, my dad doesn't like it. He hates it. And he's just a piece of shit and he doesn't get me and stuff. And he like replied to her. He's like, no, like, she's
sorry.
I fully support her. She's willing to do whatever she wants to do. I mean, I kind of hoped more out of her, but if she wants to do OnlyFans or whatever, go for it. And you could tell she was like, God damn it. Like, I wanted the conflict, dude.
Yeah. A little back and forth.
What, you
Come
fucking
on.
like me doing this shit?
Yeah.
And
You love me for me? You bitch, you old bitch. Well, at that point, Spielberg could just be like, I made E.T. Shut the fuck up. Like, this guy's best, leg or head to stand on is like, I'm a really good breakdancer. Like, I was on the news for breakdancing. Come on.
that'd be funny if
I don't know.
Spielberg, just to, because he probably knows that just being super supportive is pissing her off, like makes a biopic about her being a whore on OnlyFans. Makes a full ass.
It'd be cool too if he's like, I'm on it now also. Like, you just should support her. I'm gonna show nipple. Like, you've never seen me with my shirt off. You've never seen naked Steven Spielberg even close. Like,
who actually seems
that is
like a
funny.
good dad is Scorsese. You wouldn't think he would
yeah,
be.
he makes like those videos with his
with
kids
his granddaughter.
and stuff,
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
just like a normal ass cool guy. He seems.
yeah, he seems
nice.
like a cool dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't like it when people seem like they're cool and then like behind the scenes you can tell they're like a shitty parent.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
like breakdancing
like
dad.
Elon Musk, I'm
my
sure
hero.
is probably not there doing a lot of parenting.
Well, it's like probably no coincidence. He's like, I'm on team deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, you gave him
you
$5
seen-
million. That should raise a kid, right?
Have you seen the like people think he has a burner, like multiple burner accounts, but there's one in particular where it's like an Elon like like it comments on all his shit and it makes weird posts like pretending to be his kids where it's like, I bet baby Elon's so mad. They're like, I'm so mad at Grimes for leaving daddy Elon. Like I miss him. He has all the money. And then he posts a screenshot once, and on his like other accounts, the profile picture matches up.
Oh God.
And people are like, "Are you like this weird?" Where you're making like, "Oh, I love my daddy," like tweets.
Yeah.
Because if that ever comes out to be like undeniably true, I don't know if there's any coming back like public percent. I mean, people obviously still support you, but like. There's no way if one of my friends were making baby tweets and I found out I could ever look at them.
Yeah, that would be a sad
The
turn
same.
of events.
And
That would be
didn't wanna
utterly
bring-
pathetic for someone that big too.
Yeah, because it's like, what more do you need to? But you always, it's like, you know, I get a lot of joy out of external validation. So it's like, maybe it's never truly quenched. But I would think if I had $1 billion, I would very easily just be like, okay, you'll never see me again. And now I'm going to be doing some crazy shit, you know? I think money can buy happiness.
There was an insane trajectory in Elon's life where like earlier on he was doing such weird stuff and I was like, this is what I would do if I had the resources. And then it all came apart real quick.
I've never seen someone like destroy their own like cool image by
Yeah.
just like being too.
What
vocal.
happened to this fucking stupid tunnel company? Tunnel's gone. He sold a flamethrower that's
Just a
basically
stupid
just like a
idea.
butane
I mean, it's
lighter.
also just like make a better subway system. Like, don't make a Tesla tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flamethrower, when that came out, I was thinking, you know, I like that. That's cool. You know, rockets are cool, but now it's just like he's too vocal.
The
on
rockets,
Twitter or
I think
something.
SpaceX is still like the coolest shit in the world.
Yeah.
Just because they landed the rocket after using it instead of NASA way where they're just like, we'll make it land in the ocean, then we'll go pick it up. I like
Yeah.
that he's like, why don't you just make it land on a pad? Of course,
also it's
he
like-
didn't come up with that. He
Yeah, I was
didn't
gonna
do the
say, it's
math
a lot
for
of
it.
people getting credit for just like funding, which like you need those people.
You
but
need the
also
people
it's
that
like,
also are the idea people, because if you just leave the people that know how to do the math, they're never going to do it on their own. Because the smart people are people like Bryan that just just chill and want to be happy. But if you go like, do this, make the thing land back on the pad. Here's the money for it. You do need kind of insane idea people every now and then. But
and we find out Brian's got a burner where he made that comment.
Yeah.
And he also has a baby Brian page where it's like Looney Tune babies. And he's just photoshopping himself as a cute little baby.
I want to
and
see
talking.
Brian active on any social media. I want to see like what would
Yeah.
he do, and I've never seen someone that's that much on the
down.
internet, but he has never been at all
It's
like
a mysterious
on,
shadow figure.
on social media. Like most people that are on the internet are on social media in some way.
Yeah.
I even consider YouTube to be social media for me. Like that's how I do most of my.
Yeah, I love like looking at comments and shit
Yeah.
and being like, oh, it's like Facebook
This guy,
page.
I don't
you
even
know,
think
that-
he leaves comments. I don't think he like watches a whole lot. I don't think he scrolls anything. He doesn't even lurk. Maybe on like porn subreddits or something. But
I envy though. I feel like he truly is a person like even like Devin we've talked about before, where he can just like tune out
Mm-hmm.
all that shit and be like, what's really important? I think it's like a long process for a lot of people to get there, where you're like comfortable enough with yourself.
I think
or,
I
like,
could
you're
imagine
assured enough.
Devin probably sits on the toilet and scrolls. Like
Oh no, Devin's like on social media.
yeah. I think Bryan just gets on the toilet and pulls out like his thing and like watches like a YouTube video.
Encyclopedia.
And, he watches like a YouTube video, but I don't think he's
Yeah.
like he doesn't scroll to keep up with friends or anything.
Yeah.
I guess Discord is considered
it adds
social
to the
social
mystique
media.
though. You know?
Yeah, it does.
Adds to the It's like, is he even really fired? Or is he just, is it all an illusion? And he's going to be your next episode in some form or another.
Yeah.
I have to make this $50 Amazon purchase worth it in some way. There's going to be something Bryan related next episode that will shock you.
Yeah.
Okay. Shock you to your core. And it will be very worth the $50 investment on Amazon.
Wait, that was new? I thought that was like a...
No, I bought that last night.
I thought that was like a eBay purchase. That's just new from the factory?
Well, it's a like, you know how they have like local or like Etsy sellers kind of on Amazon? This person has no reviews and they have like 10 of these in stock. And it's not going to be here for like 2 weeks. So I don't...
They're making it for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
they might. Well, it's sad that the closest I could get is Jesus. But I've been like, I was even Googling. I like screenshot last night me just like high as hell on Amazon because I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
Because I've never had to search. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but I had to search accessories for what I bought, and it was just like man clothes for this. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And of course, they don't sell on Amazon. Like, they don't sell like pre-made kits of like new. But I was like, I want it to look just like him. Like, I want the shirt.
Like Bryan.
Yeah.
I need Crocs.
I think you'll help
Crocs
ease
and basketball
people.
shorts.
I need. Well, should I just say? I don't want to say it, but you know what it is. If you like, people are probably gonna be able to guess. But I want it to be just like him.
Yeah.
It's that way. Anytime he's brought up, I can
Pull them up.
yeah. I don't know. They don't really sell too much for those though. Shockingly.
Yeah.
I think the market's gone down. But this video is gonna bring it back.
You think?
It's a puppet. It's a puppet. Let's not beat around the bush here. It's a puppet. Okay.
Would you prefer to be, if you were a puppeteer
Yeah.
for like a show or something like that, would you prefer the olden way with the little thing above, marionette style, or would you prefer to do the Sesame Street where your hand is up in them with the little sticks under their arms?
Because of the movie being John Malkovich, I absolutely would want it to be
Those.
You've seen that movie?
Yes.
At the beginning where you're seeing the puppet show
Yeah,
and they're like
fucking-
dancing and like humping the wall. That amount of
Might be
articulation.
One of the best introductions to a
absolutely.
character I've ever seen in a movie.
Might be the best like showing of like what the Joker should be. That man.
Yeah.
I love that he's immediately punched too after because he's doing it in front of a kid. He's just so into his work though. He doesn't even know his audience. He's just like a self-obsessed puppeteer. I think the whole idea for that movie is genius and just I don't know.
And who's the actress in that movie?
Cameron Diaz.
No, the other lady.
Oh, the other one.
The other lady.
Oh,
She's like hot as hell in that
I-
movie, and I've seen her in
Yeah.
like something else,
Yeah.
and I don't know what. I just like recognize
think
she's in like the 40-Year-Old Virgin or something like that.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. That is exactly who it
She's
is.
like hot in
yeah.
that movie too. I don't. It's like hot
Yeah,
mom.
Catherine
vibes.
Keener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
rocks.
she's got MILF vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's got a little bit of aggression to her. Yeah, no, a 40-year-old virgin also. A lot of people say I've got a 40-year-old virgin vibe upstairs, which it's like such a ouch. But also like kind of going for it. So I get it. Like I do have a lot of figurines just around
Upstairs? I thought those were relegated to your office area.
This is like blast of it's this.
Yeah.
Upstairs, I've done a very healthy mix of like I've got a plant with like a Yoda in it. Okay, or I've got like my R2D2 cooler, but it's got
So
somehow you
upstairs
don't
is
look
like
at it.
I had sex once in college, but now I'm an adult.
Downstairs
Downstairs is
like,
full 40-year-old.
never had sex.
40-year-old virgin.
Bedroom is like pure like, hey, I'm a classy guy. Like I don't have a single toy in there, it's except
No
for
toys in the bedroom?
My dildos. Yeah. Except for my dildos and cock blasters and shit and my that thing we saw in the hotel room that's like
The
Jim
pommel horse.
stand at the end.
Pommel horse right
pommel
next to
horse
the
at
bed.
into the bed.
That's a powerful move. If
Yeah.
you bring home a lady, you got the pommel horse ready.
He goes, oh, what action figures you have? What awesome toys? And then you go to my room and I say, yeah, leather bound books in here and like nice wood. Okay, that's teak, lady. I've got a record player in there that doesn't work, but it's got the illusion of like this guy's got a little something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of people don't see this room though when they come over, so it's like okay.
I have a very similar vibe. You'll see it when you come over. It's
Oh, yeah.
Upstairs is very adult. and it's
Yeah.
very like put together, and it's like this is like a boring like person's house, like it's just a regular person, and then you descend down into my lair where shit gets a little bit wilder and nothing matches.
Got mannequins.
Yeah, I got mannequins.
Box of ashes.
Yep. I got a fucking jarred pig. Everything's all mushed together. A lot of garbage
But
around.
it's like one of the pleasures of having like income, though, is just being able to like fucking decorate how you truly, want it.
Yeah. By the way,
No
you
one
want to hear
else.
like the worst idea ever? This guy's gonna fucking hear this and he's gonna be upset. But when I bought all those microwaves, did I already tell you this story? The microwave thing? The guy that I bought all the microwaves for the Thanksgiving video?
He like knew your channel, and then what?
I called him
heard
again.
this, but I forget to.
I called him again and I was like, do you want to, because I bought like 4 microwaves from him, and now I just had a pile of microwaves in my office. And I was like, I just want them gone right now. So I called him back. I was like, do you want free microwaves? And he's like, are they the ones I sold you? I was like, yeah, come pick them up. You can have them for free, and then you can go sell them to somebody else.
What'd you do to him?
And he's like, okay. So he comes over, and by this point, he knows I make YouTube videos. And he's like, I have the greatest idea for a YouTube video. And if you end up making it, I want to get paid for it. And I'm like, I'm not going to make it. I
Hustler. Yeah.
just told him
Alright, okay,
straight
I'm
up. I was
turned
like,
off.
I
Yeah.
don't want your shitty idea. And he was just like, well, I'm going to tell it to you. You're going to think it's funny because I had people rolling on the floor laughing, talking about it. And he's like, the Villages down south in Florida, which is like a retirement home that's known for people fucking, like old people just fuck each other at the Villages. And he's
awesome.
he's like what they do is they have golf carts, and they'll have the loofahs that you wash yourself with, the little puffball loofahs. He's like, you hang a loofah depending on like the color of the loofah that you have on your golf cart is what you're into. So if you're into like wife swapping, anal or whatever, you have like a different colored one.
Brown loofah.
Yeah. I was like, what happened to just the pineapple being like, we're swingers?
Yeah.
He's like, so what you do is you get old person makeup, and you go to the Villages in a golf cart, and then you just hang every loofah color, that like thousands of loofahs all over the front, and you just drive up to people and be like, hey, you want to fuck? You want to fuck? You want? And I'm just sitting there like so straight faced, and he's like, huh, you know it's funny. You know this is a good idea.
$1 million.
Yeah,
You use that.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't tell him like this is the worst idea I've ever fucking heard in my life, but I just sat there and let the awkwardness of him pitching this to me straight faced marinate for a while. And then he just got in his car and drove away. And he was like, if you use it, you pay me, all right? If you use it, you pay me. And now I'm just spreading his shitty idea on my podcast and laughing about
and
how
now
bad
someone's
it is.
going to use it, and it's going to be $1 billion
It
idea.
legitimately,
It's gonna-
if you take one of those like YouTube pranksters and they did that idea, it would probably get a lot of views. But it would
but
be
it's
the
just, like,
type of shit.
That's not your
No.
style. Yeah. Like,
If I saw
There's some-
even the best execution of that prank, I wouldn't even fucking smirk at. I wouldn't even fucking chortle at it. It was
There's
just the
something
worst
so
idea I've ever heard.
horrific about sitting there while someone's so confident too that they're like, and I've been that guy before where I'm like, I throw out a joke, nothing.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst feelings ever. But like, it's almost worse to be on the receiving end. I don't know why, but like just hearing, it's just so you're embarrassed for them. You're embarrassed about the situation you're in. You obviously don't have a problem being like, I'm not going to use that. But I'd be like,
like,
oh
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
like
use
that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Like maybe. But you just
He
know
also
it's a
just
fucking dog
didn't
shit
like
idea.
pitch it well. And so I was like asking questions. I was like, maybe there's like a different angle. Like, where's the punchline? He's like, no, like that's it. You drive around just going like, hey, you want to...
Like,
You,
do I, hang
like,
the loofah
we-
from my dick or something? No.
He was so confident in it too. I was like, I'm glad you're just some basically borderline homeless guy reselling stuff on Craigslist and not
Don't quit
like
your microwave selling job, okay, man? Yeah.
yeah.
Leave this to the professionals. Okay? That's
It's
well, in the spirit of that, dog shit awful ideas that we'll never use.
yeah.
Patrons, hey man, if you got any ideas that you want to pitch for when Sam and I are together next month, of anything you want to see us do, go for it. Comment them, and we'll read them, and we'll do them. We'll do them all.
Yeah.
And they'll be. I'm sure they're funny.
Every single one too. We'll do
Yeah.
even the bad ones.
Right now we have podcast and make some collages for the patrons.
Yeah.
And you got a better idea than that, shoot it to us. We'll give you a lot of money. We'll give you an unbelievable amount of money.
Royalties are going to be insane. Yeah.
Just thinking too, I forgot about the
This
pineapple
is the first
swinger.
podcast where if you're a patron, it actually is like, it's an investment because you
Matters.
get paid back more than if you
It's
buy
like
in
401k.
$5 and then you give a good idea, we send you 10. So like this podcast loses money if everybody comments
You
a good
could-
idea.
Double, triple your money if it's a good enough idea.
Yeah.
And then you can resubscribe for 3 more months. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Basically getting free months of this.
Which is huge. The value of that is insane.
Huge.
Huge.
That's more than a coffee.
Yeah.
Think of I forgot pineapple iconography is like a
A swinger thing.
thing
Yeah.
for swinging.
It's
I feel
upside
like
down.
it's kind of fallen. Yeah, upside down pineapple.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to be like really direct.
Yeah.
Like I think we have like a pineapple themed thing in this house, which is like a lot of people, I think when they come over here already, our families, a lot of our friends, I think my roommate and I are like some gay couple living together,
You do
because the way we
radiate
decorate
gay
and the
couple
way,
energy.
he brings me dinner while I'm streaming sometimes and all these things.
Well,
And
what
with the
about
other
that
day-
mantle behind you? Who put that up?
Okay, well, he helped a lot with the mantle. He volunteered to help with a lot of
The heavy
he
stuff.
falls into the heavy stuff.
heavy
The
stuff.
other day there was a mouse in the house, and I told him about
He
it.
said,
I bought the
"Eek."
traps, and then he set them, and then released the mouse. Yeah, we've got a good symbiotic relationship. Nothing sexual.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing sexual. But the other day
you're hoping.
I was talking. Yeah, but I was talking about how like we need some hobbies. Like I would love to like maybe do like a pottery class or something. Like get into like ceramics things. Oh, he thought it was really cool. And he's like, I don't think it would help our image at all on the outside, but like I would totally do a pottery class with you. I'm like, yeah, that's game over. Like when we start like we're already like gardening now. Now we start, doing pottery and stuff, going down a slippery slope of like I'm starting to get the lines blurred. Like I'm forgetting. I gave him a watch for our anniversary. It's like
You're basically
Just
you're gay in all but you
Yeah.
don't get your asshole plowed by him. But
it's
you
not the same when he's not here.
you guys have
I
a
do-
full ass gay marriage, but minus the sex. You're a marriage with a dead bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, basically. And then when I hear women in his bedroom screaming, I'm just like, ugh, disgusting.
bitch.
Yeah. Oh, what the hell? I do a lot of like when he goes out to
He's
work,
too
like
good
I kind
for
of walk
you.
around that. I walk every time they come out, I'm like, you bitch, get out of here, you skank. He doesn't like you.
I got shit
do
that
a
needs
lot
to be
of-
hung up downstairs. You're
I've got my
wearing 'em
home
out.
coat, and I just kind of sit around with tea and look out the window, like, when's he gonna be back? Where is he? Ah. It's just like I get it.
Does he, honey, I'm
I get what-
home when he comes in?
Yeah. Oh, every time. Well, it's just a peck on the cheek, and here's your tea. I kept it
You
warm
are this
for you.
fucking Henry Paget, fifth Marquis
The
of
tea, the tea
Ainsley.
isn't for me. I don't even drink it. I keep it warm for him. Because I'm normally waking up at 5 o'clock, and he's going, no, switch. Yeah, no, it's just fun. It is funny though. Like, it's an awesome too. Like full circle. Like we've been friends since we were little kids, and gone through so many phases of like I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, what? You're staying out all night? Like, are you serious? It's like the Mac and Dennis moved to the suburbs episode of Sunny in Philadelphia. We're like, we came here. Now we've made a home together. Now
The
it's
Bizzle and Choppa arc.
Yeah.
Where, like, I remember there being like, Bizzle would be like, what the hell? Like some like little annoying gripes here and there. And then now he's just like, I can't live without him. Like, what would I do without my Choppa? He's my rock. You know?
I get it. Now it's tough because I've been thinking about like what's my next move for a while, and every time it's just like it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah.
It's just
I've
never
realized
had a
too
more
that
like
like,
ideal roommate. Like you find people that suck to live with.
yeah.
These also the
Also,
inverse.
if you ever find yourself in like a griping about the person you're spending time with or whatever, you need to seriously like step back and look at what you're griping about. Because I remember Bizzle was like Choppa has a big beard big bushy beard.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, dude, he just like sometimes he'll just get like a beard hair on the kitchen counter, and I'm like, if your only gripe with this guy as a roommate is a beard hair, then that's a damn good roommate. Because I've seen there's like a bad roommate subreddit where it's like my roommate stabbed a hole through my wall and shit in the corner.
Yeah.
It's like a beard hair.
I'm afraid to leave my room.
Yeah, I'm afraid to leave my room. I think my roommate wants to rape me.
I'm afraid my roommate's getting into puppets. He's an old man. Help. Yeah.
I know you don't like punching down, but that guy, I cannot like. That guy is the most insane dude I've ever seen. If I saw him in real life, I might scream. Like, imagine being just in a public place where, like, you're not scared of anything. You turn down the aisle in the grocery store, and that guy's standing in it. I would go down a different fucking aisle. I'll go. Like, I'll come down here later when that guy's not there.
I'd cross the street, but I wouldn't say it to his face. You know. I think he would look so much funnier too if he just had like a very clearly fake wig on.
I was about to say like curly, young man's skinny
like,
G hair or something.
Yeah, just like parted to the side, way too big wig. Yeah. He'd look 4 or 5 years younger than whatever age. Like he looks 150 now, and he could easily pass for 100 if he just wore a big wig.
Do you remember that guy that Aqua thought was so funny? It is a funny video. It's the "you're only mean because you're British" guy. Do you remember him?
Yeah,
and he has like Lego hair wig.
Oh yes, yeah.
That guy had one of those.
That on him? Yeah. Oh my god.
Or a bowl cut wig.
He would start looking more like a puppet too, which is awesome because he moves his mouth like a puppet, not like a ventriloquist.
Wait, play it again.
A person.
Play it again.
Okay, one more time because the last 3 seconds of this video just make me laugh every time.
Yeah, I know this life can really beat you down. You wanna scream, but you won't make a sound. Got so much weight that you've been holding, but won't show any emotion. As a man that goes unspoken, that we can't cry when life gets hard. Unconditional love for women, children, and dogs. We know that we just have to play our part. Don't nobody give a damn about our broken hearts. Yeah.
The other puppet saying "yeah" just makes me laugh so hard, and also just. I love the two different styles. Like, you got an old-timey puppet and you got a new... This is like the screenshot you got earlier.
The most horrifying screenshot is just him glaring at the camera, and the puppet in the foreground looks like it's horrified. Like, I know what's behind me.
Hate to make assumptions because like he could easily just be a guy where he's like, yeah, I fucking just love puppets.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just a cool dude. I love puppets. It almost feels like he's using the puppets to talk because of how he looks, you know, or something. Or it's like he gets to express through puppetry. Maybe that's even more awful than just calling him ugly. Like that's just the worst thing to say about a man. But I wonder if I can make it look like he's.
I was thinking the same thing. He's wearing a black shirt. Make it bigger.
Wait, yeah. If I just
scale him up.
It fits so well.
Dude, this reminds me of that Rust webcam where your face cam was fit over your guy on Rust.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm crying. I almost could look like the puppet too, but that guy is, I mean, Jesus Christ, he is. Oh wait, yeah, I can get a better. Oh, so you gotta put this in the thumbnail or something. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You can't just put this grotesque man in the thumbnail.
Yeah, I don't like to make fun of him. Oh my god, I look like him.
The finger point around the edge.
Well, I could make it look like I'm in the puppet too.
Oh, Christ.
Wait. Hold on.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. If that was my grandfather, though, I probably wouldn't visit him. I'm sorry, dude. That guy fucking creeps me out.
Yeah. I could. Oh, behave. Oh my god. I love that too. Just the look. He's like looking at the puppet for the reply.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait, can I just play it through one time with him right here?
Do it.
Yeah, I know this left can really beat you down. You wanna scream, but you won't make a sound. Got so much weight that you've been holding, but won't show any emotion as a man
My
that goes
arms
unspoken. That we can't cry when life gets hard. Unconditional love for women, children, and dogs. We know that we just have to play our parts. And don't nobody give a damn about our broken hearts. Yeah.
Did that look real?
That looked like the realest shit I've ever seen, dude. That was movie magic. Jesus
Cried up
Christ.
a little bit. That's awesome. I love, yeah, it's like technology can be so simple. Just wear a black shirt and put them bigger.
Yeah, superimpose
You don't
them
need to
over
get
you.
on. You don't need to get on any Adobe program or anything. You can have fun with just that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, anyways,
Yeah.
that was a good episode, I thought.
Pretty short
Yeah,
episode.
pretty
yeah,
short, but
This will have the most mournful comments out of any video
Yeah.
ever. But if you made it that far to see me wear that puppet, man, I hope you got a giggle out
and
of
I'm
that.
also hoping that in the future we won't have any more derogatory slurs in the comments on Patreon because you
Just like
guys
baseline.
have closure. There's a lot of people. I feel like that guy, if he looks into his heart of hearts, he didn't mean those words he said. I think
You're very forgiving.
I think
Yeah.
think he was just so angry about not knowing what happened to Bryan that he was just like, I need to vent.
He's probably scared.
Yeah, he was like, that's what I do when I'm
Where
scared.
is he? Where's Bryan?
I blurt the N-word sometimes out of fear. And
God.
and the fact that, maybe now he has a little bit of closure, that word will never be uttered by him ever again.
He's gonna
Unless
put
he's
on a
playing
suit
League
tomorrow
and he gets fucking ganked or something.
He's gonna put on a suit and go to his goddamn 9 to 5 and just live a
Yeah.
better and healthier life. I wish we should get like a message from Bryan, just put like superimposed. Like, oh, thank you, God. We gotta like bait him into doing it though, like into a voice clip we can
Yeah.
use. Because I don't know if he would on his own.
Now, if I said,
wouldn't
Bryan, do
care
you have
enough.
anything for the audience? You want to say anything for him? He'd be like, you want to play League or something? Like, for the audience?
It's been
Bye.
real.
Yeah, bye. Don't buy. Very simple, man.
If you see him at a TwitchCon or something, I'm sure he'll give you a big hug, a big kiss on
he's
the
all
cheek.
he's very huggy.
Touchy.
Yeah, he's a touchy guy. I remember I put my hand on his shoulder because you guys are never. Yeah, he like. It was like a fucking stray cat or something. He was like, "Get your fucking hands off me, dude."
Some people, it was probably just a little autism or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just a little.
I'll never forget the time.
Those people that I meet that I know from online stuff, it is cool to actually put your hand
Touch
on
them.
them. Yeah, touch them.
Sounds weird, but it's good to
It
like
is.
put a touch sensation
Yeah.
to the face. You know,
That's why when I met you the first time, I was like, "Can I?" Like that movie. Can I feel your face? I mapped
imagine
it out.
doing that to the like you're a blind woman on a date with that puppeteer. Like, can I feel you? Oh my
So
God.
many.
What could this even be?
Why does your
What-
face have 50 knobs on it? Dude? Like, what the hell? There's like little globules everywhere.
I bet he would just hold the puppet up and be like, "Feel this? Oh, you're so soft, like felt." Little tiny nose.
I bet you that guy fucking has those. He tucks them into bed with him. I bet you they sleep right next to him.
That almost makes me want to cry out of how sweet that picture is of him just like laying down his little puppets and like,
Yeah.
his little puppet family. It's really cute.
It is. But if I ever become
If I ever
that,
see him, I'm going to try to kill him.
if I ever become that, I want one of the patrons to throw a Molotov through my fucking living room window. You take me
us a
out.
promise,
If you
patron.
see me on the road to becoming that, take me out with like an orbital
need to
strike
give-
or something.
the patrons some sort of like, if they can fully come together and make a unanimous vote on something.
You're all going to be sent one of those fucking things where you put a key in and turn it, and you all have to do it at the same time. There's going to be 6,800 keys sent out. You guys all have to get together and agree to turn it, and fucking it'll blow up our heads. Okay,
That'd be a hilarious like gift to the patrons.
just a
Nothing
box
to put
with
it
a key,
into.
a box
Yeah,
with a key
okay,
that you
yeah, a
can
box.
turn.
And a button to press.
Yeah.
And if you all press
Flip
that
it up.
button at once, our heads blow up. You can kill us. Okay. Well, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
We've got an IRL podcast next month. Very exciting.
Very
We've got an appearance from Little Bryan coming up. Maybe I'll bring him to Florida.
Dude, they're gonna scan your luggage and see this little Bryan with
It's like a little Unabomber in your luggage. What is this?
clothing accessories. This little pair of Crocs, child-sized Crocs to go
That's
with.
the shit I bring on my carry-on in the TSA agent, like in front of like people all around me. It's like, what is this? Explain this. So I'm scared to bring
That's
my
my
magic
co-host.
cards to Magic Con. People are like, yeah, he's my friend.
He's my co-host.
Little Brian,
my
you get
friend
the
of
little
many
stick
years.
that waves the hand.
Yeah.
Look, say hi. Yeah, I'm going down that path. I'm starting that path.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching.